So he says to me, he says, B, if you want to get by in the world, you got to offer more than just cut and color in your salon. So I said, like what? Like an eyebrow shaping? He says, no. So then I says, like, I don't know, like lip waxing? He says, no. So what do you suggest? He says to me, cut, color, murder. Hi guys, it's B. Welcome to my channel. Please excuse me being a big ham at the beginning of the video, but I just graduated from the Kevin McGarry School of Accents and I wanted to show it off. Sorry, Kevin, I'm just kidding. We love you. Don't ever change from using the accent you were born with. Anyway, I just finished Cut, Color, Murder and I cannot wait to talk about it. Let's dive right in. If you haven't watched the movie yet, I'm gonna make an announcement. I'm going to make an announcement when I'm about to talk about who the killer actually was, so that way you'll know to stop it. Okay, so let's talk about the cast. I was so excited when I saw the cast of the Salon. Okay, so Julie Gonzalo, obviously. She plays Allie. I've loved her since Pumpkin Pie Wars. I also love Falling for Vermont, so I realize I'm more into her fall movies, but whatever. I was super excited to hear she was gonna get her own mystery series. I mean, how cool is that? The woman who plays her younger sister, Chelsea, I have adored her. She was just in Don't Forget I Love You. And we also know her, one of my favorite movies from last Christmas, the one in 2020, was 5 Star Christmas. So that was really cool to see her. Also, the man who plays Jonathan Bennett's husband in The Christmas House and The Christmas House 2, he's in it. I was seeing all these faces that I just love and I was so excited about the cast from the get-go. I was wondering if a salon and a hairdresser would be a natural fit for an amateur detective, but 100% yes. They said it right off the bat and I was like, okay, I'm totally here for it. They mentioned how everybody comes through her salon and she's got a great eye for detail because she has to if she cuts hair, and she understands people. And I know I've done this when I've been getting my hair cut before. People talk, you know, when they're getting their hair cut, and sometimes they say too much because they're kind of filling the time if they don't feel comfortable with silence. And so I thought, oh my gosh, she's perfect for an amateur detective. I thought it was kind of unrealistic that the chief of police would continue to go to her and talk cases with her, especially in the salon, as well as his new deputy, Kyle. But you know what? It's Hallmark Movies and Mysteries. We're going with it. We're loving it, right? I mean, why not? Why not? What a great plot. You find out that there's going to be a pageant, and you know, there's the crazy moms in the pageants. Not all pageant moms are, you know, crazy, obviously, but some of them are. I mean, there's so many people that dislike this woman named Mitzi. You know, oh Mitzi, you're gonna die. Anytime you find a character who everyone seems to hate, that person isn't gonna make it past 20 minutes into the movie. We all know this, right? There's also a really interesting arc that you know is gonna be coming up in future movies. My heart went out to Allie when she was sitting beside her husband's grave having lunch and just chatting with him, and you find out through some dreams that she's having that he has been killed. She found him while he was dying. And so a lot of trauma in her past. It reminds me of Martha's Vineyard Mysteries, how Jesse Metcalf's character, he carried some past trauma with him when he was shot. So getting a little bit deeper into the plot, Mitzi is found dead at one of the rehearsals for the pageant. And there are all kinds of people that could be involved. At one point, Chelsea, Allie's little sister, is actually brought into custody because her fingerprints were found on the scissors that were the weapon. Then there's also 2 different pageant moms who seemed a little angry and crazy. So we're like, well, obviously they've got motive to kill Mitzi, especially because one of the moms, her daughter was disqualified right before Mitzi was killed. Then you find the MC. As time goes on, we find out more layers about him. He was having money troubles. We think he's just this perfect soon-to-be weatherman for Boise, Idaho, but he's got some money issues, and Mitzi was never really supportive of him. So we wonder if he could be the cause. Then there's Stan. He's the director of the pageant, and they do not get along well at all. But then you find out they're actually in a relationship, and you realize he just really wants them to be out in the open so they can stop hiding, and then she can go on long walks with him and his bunny. Yeah, that's right, his bunny. I don't know. There's also a caterer with an axe to grind. He needs the money and she's trying to give it to somebody else, another caterer instead of just him. And he has a lot of angst about that. He's really upset. Although for me, my person that I thought, oh, this is the killer, Sterling. This weird guy who comes up to Allie. He keeps asking her on dates. She keeps saying no thank you. Then he asks her out for a drink and he seems so sweet, but you get in his van and he's got this giant jar of some kind of crazy concoction that he makes himself. And then he like keeps asking her to go to a secondary location with him, which we all know, like, never go to a secondary location with a guy that could be crazy. You don't want to do that. He's like, come to my cabin in the woods where no one's around. I felt like he was gonna be like, come to my van where there's no windows. It's really scary. You know, just really creepy. And then we find out that he was lying about the fact that he didn't go to the pageant that day. He was there. He was in the hotel and he was with Mitzi. And some of his concoction was on her coat. So I was like, oh my gosh, it's this guy. That guy made my skin crawl. I really disliked Sterling. Okay, this is my special announcement. If you have not seen the movie, if you have not seen the end of the movie, stop watching now. Don't do it. Don't watch the rest of this video because there's spoilers. So I'm going to jump into the other thing that I was thinking. And we're gonna talk about chemistry between Kyle and Allie. So obviously we want our two leads to have chemistry, and we know it can't happen right away because we want them to fall in love over the series, right? I mean, come on, that's what we want. But man, sparks were flying, and I don't mean in a good way, between Allie and Kyle after Kyle arrested Chelsea and had her booked for questioning. I know my terminology is not right. I don't watch enough of law shows and police shows. I'm sorry. Feel free to correct me in the comments. But anyway, man, was Allie mad at Kyle. But then she starts to warm up to him. They're starting to work together. I loved the little back and forth about the fact that he said her haircut was not bad. That was hilarious. I loved that. And here's the thing though. I got chills when she said, you know, you look vaguely familiar to me. And he's like, oh really? And I thought, she talks about how she never forgets a face. At that point, I thought, holy cow, what if Kyle is the killer? You know, they never have done this before where it's like the male lead who you think is gonna be the male lead winds up being the killer. But I thought, well, it's the first episode or first movie in the series. They could do whatever they want. They could have another male lead soon. I mean, how many male leads have there been, for example, in Aurora Tea Garden? I know it's at least 2. I know Niall Mater is definitely not the first guy, and he might be the 3rd. I can't remember. Let me know in the comments if you can remember. I'm so looking forward to that one, by the way. Coming up. It's coming up. So we find out that Kyle is not the killer. And I was like, okay, but still, there's something going on with Kyle, I'm saying. At the end, when she decides to let Dan, her late husband, know that she's letting go of the case, that she's gonna just stop. And the file falls and it's got the picture in it of Kyle. I had shivers. I'm so freaked out now. When is the next movie coming? We need another movie. I need to know what's going on with Kyle. Is he good or bad? What's going on? Okay, so now another thing that we want to measure, I think, when we're talking about these mystery movies, is there enough danger? How did we feel? Oh my gosh, let me say, yes, I did feel like there was a good amount of like danger and suspense, and I was like, oh my gosh, what's going on? Especially with that whole thing with Kyle. It was kind of like a sleeper thing, and out of left field, I just wasn't expecting that, and I love a good twist, I love a good surprise, I love a good cliffhanger. But the danger element when she discovers that one of the pageant moms was the killer of Mitzi, and then she takes, I will say Julie, she takes Allie to that second location and tries to burn the place down. Like she's basically gonna set her on fire. And thank goodness they rescued her because they were able to track her phone. But it was like, oh my gosh. And I also loved, and I felt like it was a bit of humor at the very end when that pageant mom who killed Mitzi and tried to kill Allie, she's fleeing the scene and Allie is out ahead and slams that door into her face and she kind of falls. And you see Allie like, I loved that scene so much. I I loved it. I thought I would watch it again. It was so hilarious. I would be remiss if I didn't at least talk about some of the hairy parts in this mystery. I did not love that Allie said to somebody, "Oh, I see you're seeing someone else. Oh, you're not coming to me for haircuts anymore." That is like my worst nightmare. Have you ever been with a hairstylist because even if you're not thrilled with the haircut, you're like, I don't want to leave because they're gonna see me and I can't do it. And it's awkward, right? Like you can't necessarily just leave your hairstylist. If you decide to leave and you get your hair cut by someone else and then your old hairstylist sees you and you've obviously had a haircut that was not from them, it's so awkward. It's so awkward. So when she pulled that whole, "You're seeing someone else," I was like, oh, great. You're gonna be that person? Super. Otherwise, I thought Allie was great. She's tough as nails and she's smart and she's a great heroine. So why not? Let's rate it. Why not? I love to rate things out of 5, 5 being the best, 0 or half. I did a half candy cane for one of my one of my Christmas reviews last year. I'm gonna do magnifying glasses for this, and I'm gonna say that for me, it was a great plot, a lot of danger, good start to chemistry. I didn't love Kyle. I mean, you know, if they end up replacing him with like, you know, like a Kevin McGarry or a Tyler Hines or a Luke McFarlane. If they replaced him with somebody else, I think I'd be fine with that. But anyway, the only thing I would say, I would give this 5 magnifying glasses, but having one of the crazy pageant moms be the killer was a little too on the nose, maybe. I don't know. It wasn't quite as exciting where she was just like, I was just protecting my daughter. The end. You know, I don't know. I felt like it could have been a slightly more exciting ending, but I really enjoyed it. Would I watch it again? Yeah, I sure would. Am I super excited about the series? You know it. So I'm gonna give this 4 out of 5 magnifying glasses. I'm looking forward to Aurora Tea Garden next week. Oh man, we're gonna do that review. And I don't know, maybe should we rate or rank one against the other? I don't know, let me know if you think we should in the comments. I don't know. We're taking the woman who's been around for a super long time and then the gal who just got started. I don't know if that's fair, but might be kind of fun. If you're interested in anything else, I've got some content here. Because this is a Hallmark Movies and Mysteries review, I'm gonna say stay safe out there. And then I'm gonna use one of these sound effects because they're so much fun.